Again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, still playing with Arteza 12 by 16 inch canvas boards. And I have been recently to the dollar store and I found a hair catcher. And I don't know what's going to happen. If I fail miserably, then I will just do what I always do, something else. I'll chain pull it, or I'll pull it out with a spatula. I'm going to put my glasses on. First of all, I want a little layer of paint around where I start. I actually want more than a little layer. I think it's pretty brazen of me to try and do this with black, because I can't imagine it covering, but it's a good test, and testing is what we're doing, at least I'm doing, for me, to find out what happens on the day one of playing with an Arteza canvas board, which did not used to impress me, but I've got to say Arteza somehow figured out, so far anyway, how to keep them from warping with a nice layer of wet paint on them, which makes me pretty happy. For all of you who are on a severe budget and don't know what to pour on, I've done, oh, I don't know, 5, 6 of these now, and so I'm just moving along to different methods I've used in the past, trying to see what will happen. There's a nice, I guess you call the canvas texture tooth to this canvas, but that also means that I want to have a good thorough layer. I'm using my OXO omelet turning spatula. There's 2 sizes. This is the smaller of the 2. I don't know why I picked it. I usually like the larger one. I am going to try and fill in as much of that as possible. I have some leftover paint from my previous pour, and like I said, I'm not sure what will happen, but I keep all of my paints in squeeze bottles pre-mixed with pouring mediums like Floetrol and Decor pouring medium on top of color mixed with a little bit of GAC 800 by Golden, which keeps the paint from cracking when it's thick, and I like to leave it thick. And I think I've just covered that canvas far better than I imagined it would cover, and maybe, just maybe, if I have places that gap, I can cover them with black tomorrow. But in the meantime, here's my hair catcher from the dollar store with some things trimmed off it. But I figured I would at least give it a try. I've never been successful at these before, but there's a first time for everything. And I think what I'm going to do, because all things gold are wonderful, so I'm going to take my own personal mica gold that I made from powder that's on my Amazon link also, and throw that right down there. And what sells with that? I want some of the Prussian blue, and I'm not seeing it, but I know it's here. That's not it. I think that's it over there. Okay. I'm just going to see what happens when I use this hair catcher. Maybe this will be my charming time. I can't call it third time because I think there have been more than 3. It's pretty shallow, which I thought was a good idea for the canvas board. It's only 12 inches by 16 inches. I did need to use up my paint, so it's not bothering me at all to do so. I'm going to use my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas to, I think a different one, to take all the residual paint right out of there, because I hate wasting paint, and I don't have to if I scrape it down. I find these little spatulas are good for a whole lot of things. I like swiping with them. That's going in the bucket. Because that's my favorite square tip spatula, that's getting wiped off. It would be so funny if this worked this time. I have made up some light blue, which looks like it's purple in that bottle, but is not. And I'm just going to keep adding colors. That might be the wrong color. Do I want white or black? I might want some white. If I use white, then I can probably get away with some of the Arteza paint neon pink, which is very neon. It kind of looks like it's going to work. I don't want to keep messing with that. I've got orange. Orange is good. Come out. Alright, let's use a bamboo skewer pointy top. A little pressure on the bottom. Yep, comes right out. I've got to put a fair amount of paint in there or it doesn't flow out. It is a warm day here in Florida. It's in the low 80s. Come out. You're not coming out either. Fine, be that way. That is almost gone, to tell you the truth. So I think if I'm going to use it, I better be quick. I got quite a bit out of there. Red and these Arteza paints, half of them have been mixed for quite a long time. I'm going back to the yellow. I did set my timer, which means that when the time runs out, I'll tell you a bunch of stuff I need to tell you, but the camera shuts off at 20 minutes, so it's always nice for me to know in advance, before it does it on its own, that it might be happening soon. So it looks like my turntable is fairly level today, which is kind of neat, but it's not going to keep me from wanting to turn this to make sure that that is correct. I'm going to throw a little more white in there, or silver. I could do silver. I don't think silver will hurt anything. It's very thick. Wow. That's interesting. I wonder what silver and gold look like next to each other. I think I'm just going to go for the Prussian blue again. I'm tempted to get out my tubing and give it a bit of a puff out. If I knew exactly what I did with it. There it is. I got it. Let's try that. The girl who just could not leave well enough alone. Kind of like that little tab in the middle there that's going to let me pick everything up. So that's blue. Let's just go ahead and imagine that this is going to be okay when I pick it up. Usually my choice of colors is pretty okay. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this at all. Put that white around the outside edge where the holes are. I'm getting ready to call it good. I kind of like the last thing in there to be gold, but I'm not sure that's a great choice. It does seem to be filling up without spreading out much anymore. I haven't used any of my favorite pink, so that might be my last decision. A double dose of the magenta, and then wonder if it will come out. And what I will do with what will not come out. Ooh, a lot of that went right to the middle. Okay then. That's all pretty strange. You know what I want to do? Ha! Yes, I do. Okay, well, as cool as that is, I don't think I can tip that without that center becoming a problem. So I'm going to take a chance and go from the white out and wipe. There's too much paint in the center, definitely. that's okay. Something good may happen yet. I'm just going to mess up my tile and not worry about it. I know agitating the paint will allow cells to pop. We've got plenty of other colors in there. That should be good. I can hope so. I prefer not to make mud. I prefer my Starburst colorful as opposed to muddy. I don't really want to flow any paint off this canvas. This is the ultimate test of whether the canvas boards can withstand a massive amount of wet paint residing on them while they dry. I'm not super duper pleased, and I keep dragging out my basting brush and making interesting cells. And then destroying them. So what am I going to do with this? I want to do something in the center. I kind of want to take a whole bunch of paint out of the center, to tell you the truth. Where's that? Here we go. That's different. I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying it's different. I think what I want to do is rinse off my basting brush, dry off my basting brush, take an unholy chance. Whoops, not good. Don't like dragging the basting brush, dragging globs of color. Well, I don't waste paint very often. I'm just going to keep dragging that gold right out on the edge. Gold, bronze, brown, whatever you want to call it. It's a big square starburst, and I'm not in love with that center by any stretch of the imagination, and I want to do something with it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I have one of these. So, I'm going to remove some paint, because I can. The name of my book. Not that anyone's ever going to see this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. But my book is called Because I Can. It's on the Amazon link. How else am I going to get that off of there? Probably another spatula. I have two of these for a reason, I guess. If I don't drip along the way, that'll be okay. If I do, that's par for the course. Alright, let's see how that gold covers. Let's get those spatulas into the bucket. If you let them dry too long, you're in trouble. Smooth out what's there. Actually, you know what? I could dry out what's there. Just wipe it right up a little bit. Don't mind that gray color, actually. I'm going to throw that rag in the bucket too, because it's got a lot of glop on it. And so does that basting brush, and I have got, yes, I have got skewers, and I can use the flat bottom Maybe this is just the background for something tomorrow. Maybe a little more gold in there. Maybe I'm going to blow that around and see what happens. I believe it will settle back into the center. I'm really tempted to put a little bit of orange right around it. I like that orange in there. I suppose what that means is if I like it enough, I can put some of it in there. See what happens. Yep, I like it. Swipe off the skewer. Gray is actually a really great color. It's just not the color you're looking forward to making when you're pouring fluid acrylics. I've decided to go ahead, pull that center out. That's me having 2 minutes left before you're gone. The temptation would be to try and add the neon pink, but I don't think it's going to help. This is definitely the ultimate test for this canvas board as to whether it will survive heavy paint or not. So I make little hearts if I drag through the center, and I make little rays if I drag beside. Not sure what else I want to do to this, but check out the Teespring below the video for my clothing, the studio slogan. Know that in the Amazon link you'll find the gold mica powder, and just ask for a link if you can't find one, and I'll be happy to provide you with one. There's Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook albums that contain my wet and dry artworks from YouTube. I want yellow in there too, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Maybe it is. I guess we could find out pretty quick. Maybe very randomly. I don't know if that'll stay or not, but it's kind of cool, the idea that it might is okay with me. You're going to be gone, so I should torch. And tell you guys, thanks for coming. This was different. I was almost successful. Actually, I was successful at something. I'm just not sure what to call it. And that's you gone in a minute. And I kind of like that pink, but I don't like it enough to want to risk putting it in everything. I think I could probably put some white in there, but I kind of don't mind the little bits of black that we have hanging around either. Which reminds me, maybe that would be a good idea. To add some of that black back again. I think so. There. I'm going to pull that out. That's a whole lot closer to what I want from this experiment. I don't know if I can keep it, but I'm going to try. So I love you guys. Keep making comments. The end screens, the last 20 seconds of the video will take you to a playlist of more than 450 videos. If you like what I do, please join me again. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery saying, see ya! Bye for now. Priscilla out.